It's time to meet another Artomat artist who has been featured in the Artomat Benton Harbor. We'd like you to meet artist Dennis Wells. We gave him some questions to answer, and he has been kind enough to share video responses to tell us a little about himself, his art, and his involvement with Artomat. How did you learn about Artomat and get started with it?
It's sort of an interesting story. Before my wife and I moved to Winston-Salem, we had come across an Artomat machine in a an art gallery in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And I don't think that particular machine is still there, but I was really intrigued by it because at first I thought it was a cigarette machine and I thought they had been outlawed. And when I realized it was selling little pieces of art, I thought it was really cool, but I didn't realize it was part of a larger network. I thought that it was, just a one-off machine that this place had. Then when we moved to Winston-Salem, it seemed like every gallery or interesting business we went in had one of these machines. And so I just couldn't figure it out. And we went to a gallery hop, and I was in Delert Gallery, which is where Artomat has a studio, like a satellite studio. And Clark was there, and I overheard him talking to some people about Artomat machines. And I told my wife, I was like, hold on a second, I need to talk to this guy. So I went over, and when the people finished talking, excused myself for eavesdropping on his conversation and introduced myself, told him I was an artist, that I was new to Winston-Salem, had seen the machines, thought it was a cool idea, and, just asked him what I needed to do to try and be part of it. So that was sort of the roundabout of how I found out about Artomat.
How long have you been involved with Artomat?
Okay, so this answer won't be quite as long as the last one, I don't think. I actually had to go back and look through. I've kept all the green cards since I've been doing it because I just find that fascinating. And when I went back and looked through it today, I actually found out that I have been making Artomat art since 2014. So my 2024 blocks were actually anniversary blocks. It was my 10-year anniversary. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing it. I've been doing it for a decade now, and yeah, I plan to keep doing it as long as Clark lets me.
Where are you located, and do you think that it influences your art?
I am currently located in Richmond, Virginia. When I started making Artomat art, I was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I'm originally from South Carolina. So I've lived in Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina my whole life. Southern boy to my bones. I enjoy southern weather. I like snow that comes and it's pretty and it melts and goes away. I like getting all four seasons. Um, but I don't know if it really influences my art. I mean, Richmond itself, I haven't lived here long enough at this point, I don't think, for it to influence my artwork. But growing up in the South, I do think sometimes influences my work.
We wanted to know what was his favorite part about being involved with Artomat.
Um, I don't know. There's a lot about it that I love. I have really enjoyed meeting all of the people that it has put me in contact with, both people that have bought pieces of my Artomat art and then all of the hosts and the other artists and everything has been a lot of fun. And it's really fascinating to see where all the little pieces of art go. I love the green cards when they come in and looking to see where all the pieces went. And then occasionally, when people that have purchased a piece reach out to you, you get to find out where it continued to travel to after it even went to the host location.
We asked if Dennis could share any of his favorite Artomat moments.
I've had a lot of like really neat moments that have come out of Artomat, but I think one that kind of spoke to me was somebody had purchased one of my icon series and it was of Mr. Bean, and I can't even think of the actor's real name off the top of my head. But they just said that they had lost a friend, and watching Mr. Bean was something that they used to do together, and getting that block really meant a lot to them at that particular point in time. And it was just, it was really interesting to hear how something so simple, such a small piece of art, could mean that much to a person at that time. Because obviously, I don't make the Icon series thinking that it's going to have some sort of deep impact on people's lives, other than it's just a really neat piece of small art. But that particular time, that was kind of interesting, and was really neat.
What were some connections that you have made through Artomat?
That would be an amazingly long list. Obviously, Clark, Caitlin, and the people that work in the Artomat studio are fantastic. Consider them all friends at this point. But I have also made friends with a lot of artists in places in the country that I've never been. So that's fascinating. All across the United States, and also some vendors and Artomat machine hosts that I have met and become friends with, talked to, and sometimes that has led to opportunities. So the list of connections that I've made from Artomat is, I couldn't go into it in a video that's going to be short enough for you to want to edit.
Our last question for Dennis was, has making your art for Artomat led to or developed from any other artistic endeavors?
Yeah, I think it's sort of symbiotic. There have been things that I have tried first in Artomat blocks, and then have decided to do at a larger scale. There have been things that I do at a larger scale that I have figured out how to scale down so that it will fit on an Artomat block. And even beyond that, there have been opportunities that I have gotten to create pieces, and opportunities that I've had to show my studio size work because of Artomat. So somebody that I met through Artomat gave me an opportunity to either create a piece for them or to show my work elsewhere. So yeah, I definitely think that my studio art and my Artomat art, play into each other.
Thank you again to artist Dennis Wells for taking the time to answer some questions about himself, his art, and his involvement with Artomat. Look for his art in Artomat machines around the country. The next time you're in Southwest Michigan, stop by the livery in Benton Harbor and check out the Artomat machine. Make your first purchase or your next purchase of original, affordable art. If you think you might be interested in becoming an Artomat artist, hosting a machine, or would just like to know more about Artomat's history and all of the locations, please go to artomat.org for all of the information.